Hi, it's Holly once again from Florida. Sorry, I haven't been on in the past few days because I just came back from an absolute life changing event. It's called the Mastermind Elite Group. I'm just blown away still and amazed at the amount of people coming in from all over the world. I met people from Switzerland, Australia, London, Canada, South Africa, and every state in the United States. And that was only half of the group. I'm just amazed at everything and listening to everyone's stories, not just from all different countries, coming from all different walks of life. I, there were people that had such major breakthroughs, including myself. However, listening to some of the stories that one person in particular rounded up all her coins and brought it in to cash in for dollars to buy food and put on her table. Another person started out living in a tent because she was homeless and heard about the same program that I'm doing. And now she's a six-figure earner just from following a simple blueprint with step by step uh, outlines of what to do, how to do it, and a support of our CEOs and numerous six-figure earners that didn't all start out as a six-figure earner. There were some people that brought families with them, young children. And when I say young, 10 to 13 in that bracket, listening to all the stories that even brought tears to their eyes because so many of us had breakthroughs. People working in corporate America for 25, 30 years and no warning, nothing, just laid off, cut their department out. And after somebody has worked there for their entire life, just as simple as you're done, it's over. No, nothing new for you, because they did close the department. Other people that came in that were excessively shy, like introvert, and were afraid to even share their story. And eventually, after this phenomenal uh, breakthrough for her, she got up and told her story, and that brought tears to my eyes. And I hadn't cried in almost over 13 years after my brother passed away. Prior to that, I was raised not to show any of your emotions. Be strong, tell it like it is intellectually, but don't share from your heart. And unfortunately, that's what I've always done. I've been a good speaker and getting in front of the public, and I was scared to death initially. However, I never understood what it meant to talk from here, not from here, until I went to this mastermind event that took place in Kansas, met the CEO, my mentor, and one of the other gentlemen. I'm also a mentor in our mastermind group. And I mean, I started this business very skeptical, honestly, but because I've been burned with a scam, a previous company that the guy just took what we gave him, and there were thousands of us in this group, only to find out he scammed us. And his past history, he did it once before, 10 years ago. So I was extremely hesitant to get involved in anything else. However, I having a health issue because I want to retire, but I haven't been able to because I need to build more income because there's just not enough coming in to cover expenses that have mounted uh, due to the fact of helping others, like my mother-in-law I mentioned the other day, and just the debt and the escalating of the credit card bills just became overwhelming. So, but I couldn't go out on a job after being in a career my entire life, it was a difficult transition for me, and definitely not a healthy one, because when you get older, they're going to give you a menial salary. And I was used to commissions, in the thousands. Some commissions I received was 80,000 for one sale on a house, or not even a house, it was a business. However, when you're working in a job, which I always refer to as just over broke in reality, and as you get older, they're not going to want to pay you your worth. They'd rather hire 3, 4 other people for less money than they would have to pay you for your expertise and your background. So just getting a job, I worked at Sam's Club, and that killed me, with standing all day and getting a disease that I can't stand for lengthy periods of times, or I suffer for it. So I needed to find solutions. And after being burned in that scam, and then I also had done years ago as a side gig, so to speak, a multi-level marketing business, which I also didn't understand. I just knew, oh, round up tons and tons of people and you get an override on everything that goes on and that they do. However, didn't understand it, but I did it, and I did it for a while. It was related to save money on your electric bill, and, save the consumer and the people. And I got quite a few people, but I had to call them, email them, hound them, go to their homes and show them how it works and teach them everything. And I got pennies on the dollar. And then the funny thing is, which really wasn't funny, the electric bill, the rates went down. So having that plan, you had a higher rate. So, and the bulk of what I did went to management above me. So I got paid maybe 20% on the dollar, and the 80% went there. So that was a turnoff for me. I wasn't looking to do something like that again. So being burned with a scam, in addition to making minimal money and having to do a lot of not just calling and bugging people, but legwork and travel and go and show and set it up for them. And that it just got to the point where that was no longer of value, because I worked too hard. In addition, made pennies. So until I, finally heard about this blueprint people were talking about, and seeing other people that were scammed in a previous company that I also did, were were so excited, and watching, one earned 30 something $1,000 in 29 days. And I saw the proof of it all the time. Another one earned more, but in a little bit longer period of time, although they had a following. I never had a following, especially since I moved from the Northeast to Florida. I, I didn't know anybody when I came here. So I also didn't want to hunt and chase people and bug them. However, I needed a solution to get out of debt. So I decided to try what they were doing. And I didn't even, as I mentioned, I didn't know what a blueprint was. And listening to so many people's stories at the Mastermind, there were so many stories that just broke my heart, listening to the struggles other families, not just myself, but so many other people. Some people dropped out of school and didn't even get a full education, and they started doing this. And now they're teaching us, because they're earning 6 on their way up to 7 figures in less than 15 months, most of them. Some are even less, 8 months. Grandma, she earned $500,000 in 8 months. Now she's almost at $700,000 in a year. And she's a grandma. She wasn't a digital marketer or knew anything about stuff like this. So combining all of that and they're helping and teaching me. And most of the people that I met also are zero tech skills, just like me. So I wasn't alone in that department. There were many of us that had no tech skills. Although, with the blueprint and the tech support and the training, it is immeasurable. There is nothing I have ever done in my entire life, and I've was a CEO of my own real estate. I got certified as an instructor trainer, and however, I hired people to do all this techie stuff, so I never really even learned on my own how to do it, and the cost factor to hire people to do it for me was insane. Just my website alone cost over $8,000. And guess what? The following year, technology had improved. I had to upgrade things, and that cost another few $1,000s. So that was not a savings. It helped me out, but it really cost mega dollars when you own your own and the supplies and everything else that goes along with it. So when I did discover this and finally decided to take that plunge, I have to say it was the best decision I have ever made. And my husband believes in it so much because he believes in me. He knows I can achieve and succeed at doing something once I connect the dots, the heart and the mind and the knowledge, and apply it. And that's what I'm doing. And people it doesn't matter your education level. You don't need a degree for this. You don't need a lot of money. It's a one-time investment. That's it. It doesn't cost you for the training or to integrate another business. And you're taught how to actually build multiple income streams to generate even more. And the training, the support, and if I miss something, I watch the replay. If I have a question, I shoot an email and they get in touch with me right away and walk me through what I didn't quite understand. That gives me the opportunity to work from home, earn 100%. I don't pay somebody up here. I don't pay somebody over there. I don't pay somebody down here. It's all included. And being somebody in my age bracket, 73, closer to 73 than 74, thank goodness. However, but in reality, I'm learning and I'm earning, and I'm just blown away at how much I've actually learned. Even tech stuff that I had no clue was even available. I thought that was only for the rich and famous because they could hire out and have everybody do everything for them. I don't have to do that. I personally purchased the Legacy Builder, which was the most expensive one. It's only $900. I took my credit card out because I know when I set my mind to something, I'm consistent and I'm coachable. And if I don't understand something, I ask for help and I get the help. And that's so important to me because being a one-time investment, and oh, I'm sorry, the website costs for Legacy Builder, the version 2, which I highly recommend more so because the training is so beginner friendly. A first grader can figure it out. If my grandchildren lived near me, they could even show me better than I'm doing myself because I think they were born with a computer in their hand at this age because they're in the technology stage. I came from the Flintstone era and survived through the industrial. But the point I'm making is it's not hard. Anyone in any type of lifestyle that you're in, whether you want to retire and you're afraid that your pension, your 401k won't last as long as you're going to need it because our life expectancy has extended. Now people are living into their 80s, 90s. And a friend of mine's mom just celebrated and looks fabulous, her 105th birthday. So lifespans are better, and also thankful for technology, for medical and everything else that's needed in this world. Uh, But the point I'm getting at is the fact that we're living longer. So pensions are not going to be enough to carry you through. Retirement funds that you may have outsourced into other areas, if it's a volatile market, it could also be very sketchy on how much you can gain or lose. And I think today there was just the Dow plunged tremendously. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it is easy. If you don't like your job and you're tied to it because you have to, some people have two jobs or three even, because people today can't live on just one income. It used to be decades ago, but not anymore. The inflation, the cost of living, uh, but yet the incomes are not going up at the same fat speed that they should, and in many cases they're going down. Not to mention, job security isn't there like it ever was in the past. You're just a number. Everybody's replaceable. Nobody's invincible. And people think that, oh, I've been here a long time. That doesn't mean diddly squat anymore, because there's no loyalty with your job. None. And the amount that you earn on an annual basis, what percentages is that rising for you? But yet, everything else all around us is costing more money now. So to have something that's easy to do, learn it, that you're trained and taught, and I don't have to call anybody. I don't have to send emails out. I'm messaging people and traveling to do it because I'm taught to it with attraction marketing. People that can resonate with me will come to me. I'm not going to get everybody, but people that have had hardships like I have, and you can relate to it, or perhaps you're a senior going through the same situation, financial struggles, or maybe you're a mom that you have to go out and work, pay a sitter, and if you have pets, you got a pet sitter on top of it, and the time loss, quality with your family, there's nothing that's more important than that in life. However, you need to put food on the table, keep a roof over your head, pay your utilities, car payments, whatever, unless you inherit or win the lotto. And what are those odds? But the point of everything that I'm talking about is the simplicity, the program. It's not difficult at all. You're taught everything. It's all included, and it's global. So it goes out to the whole world. As I mentioned at our Mastermind event, we just had people came from all over the world and all walks of life, young, seniors, mid-range, and the struggles were all different. However, the pain was the same. You could feel it. As I said, I never cried in 13 years because I was taught not to, but that's not healthy. And I felt it. And my goal is to build myself to a good 6-figure and eventually a 7-figure, but one stepping stone at a time from home. And my husband believes in everything I'm doing so much. He got a part-time job to help support the household, to cover the bills until I build this to the level that I can pay off all debt, inclusive of the mortgage. So that's what I love. And having automation 24/7, it literally, can you imagine waking up in the morning and checking your cell phone and going and your bank account and like, holy moly, huh, where did that come from? I just earned. And the beauty of this program, the reason I love the Legacy Builder, because you start out with 4 income streams. So hypothetically, and it's happened, the 100, the 300, the 600, and the $900 program, if somebody bought each one of those, that's $1,900. It could be a day. However, what if you increase your income a couple of thousand a month as you're learning and growing and earning? Would that help you too? Because I know it's helping me. And that's the whole beauty of what I do. Work from home, earn 100%, being trained. I don't have to have tech skills. I learn them and I apply them. And I do some posts, on the various platforms. And you can pick whichever, and the platforms don't cost you any money. And the website, I forgot to mention that, the new with the version 2.0 is $39. That's it. I mentioned I paid $8,000 and had to upgrade a couple thousand more the following year. And this website makes mine look like in the past, ugh, this one is fabulous. It does everything for me. The automation, I don't have to bother anyone. And when somebody has a question or wants to know something, I answer them. And people that join with me, because my goal is to help a minimum of 1,000 families to get into a lifestyle that they're happy, they are earning money, they're not struggling, and they're not worrying, because my end goal is to build a legacy, not just for myself and my husband, but to leave, when I'm gone, something for them that they never have to experience the numerous hardships and struggles I've encountered in my life, way too many. However, that's my goal, and I believe in me, and I know I can do it. And if you're coachable and consistent, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme. You just don't start and, oh, here comes the money. You got to earn it. Like in anything, nothing is free. However, if you follow the blueprint and all the mentor training you're going to get, you can build to whatever you want. The sky's the limit. And multiple income streams. Look at every wealthy, successful person out there ever. They have multiple income streams. And the other beauty is you're not paying extra for more income streams. You can build up with the Legacy Builder as many as you want, and you're not paying anybody below or above. So it's just the best thing I've ever done. And listening to so many others and their hardships in life, it's amazing how many people are actually building a life for themselves with peace and love and financial stability. Money is the vehicle to provide you for the quality, the time, and the memories that you can build with your family and do what you want when you want and be your own boss and determine your own income. No age discrimination. You got it all. It's up to each individual. And I'm thankful I did decide to do it and get away from my fears, because fear to me is false evidence appears real. You make your life the way you want at your leisure and your convenience. Comment ready if you'd like to learn more, and I will definitely send you the info.